genius of rock and roll.
On my screen, I'm
hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I'm your host, the amazing Super Chris. Thank you for joining me today. My co-host Ryan, she's covered up in tech gremlins. She's hiding in the back. It's a scene, tech gremlin. She's pulling out her hair. It's fun to watch, though, really. I hope you had a wonderful week. I hope you did a lot of safe sinning. I did a lot of safe sinning. Yeah, humped a lot of legs. It was fun, though. I'm looking forward to the weekend. This weekend, I got a lot going on. I'm going to be preparing for next weekend, which is NanoCon. I get to do NanoCon. So is there anybody else here going to be at NanoCon? Give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you're in the chat. If you're going to be doing the NanoCon. I do see the skeptic in the chat. John, I'm going to get you on the show. Maybe next week, if you're available. I'd like to see about getting you on the show. All right, guys, let me do this thing. Have you heard of atheism? It's for me. I think it may also be for you.
Life is complicated. These are trying times. There are many questions that need answering. Want to know what's going to help? Atheism. With atheism, you'll get rid of dogma, superstitions, and toxic thought patterns that are holding you back. You can drive while taking atheism, as well as use heavy machinery. In fact, drinking alcohol, fornicating, and Sunday mornings are far more enjoyable with atheism. However, there are side effects. Some evangelicals and fundamentalists will think you're possessed by the devil. But you don't have to worry, because you know the devil isn't real. Just like God. Wake up to your life. Believe in yourself. Believe in science. Atheism.
All right, we are back. Let me bring up my lovely co-host, Ryan. Every time I show up and I'm thinking, they're going to be just stunned at how beautiful I am. She shows up, makes me look like a pig.
Oh, stop that.
They don't like me.
Looks like you got a nice t-shirt. It looks like a new t-shirt. At least new to me.
I don't normally wear them because they're rare. It's a Shakespeare shirt I got from being in a Shakespeare play a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I don't normally wear them very often. But
that's a very special memento.
Yes. Well,
as long as you wash it properly,
Yes.
Rarely. Don't eat with it on. Yeah, or rarely.
No. Well, originally it was going to be an undershirt. I was going to put on my red Friday shirt my Friday shirt that I've been wearing. Mm-hmm. But after our recent experiences with Ken Hovind and seeing how similar it looks to him, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that anymore.
Don't
so it's just gonna
ruin it for you, though.
No, it's put a little bit of a hitch in my giddy up, but that's okay. The evil one has got all kinds of different shirts coming in for me. Okay. It's going to be fantastic. Okay. Ryan's smile is indeed infectious. That's true. Kelly is so right. If you do that enough, your face will stick that way. I'm just saying.
You have no idea how many times I heard that as a kid. That one should have been my middle name.
I believe you. Yeah, well, I think that's part of the fun. I want to mention here, Kelly, our rational poet Jackie says, I want to know if anyone is going to the FFRF Atheist Convention in October. I would like to. That's going to be the next one I'm going to be setting my sights on. We're doing NanoCon. I'm going to be focusing on hopefully getting somehow involved in that FFRF convention somehow. So I'm going to see what I can do. We'll see. Otherwise, I may even just sponsor it or something like that from the channel. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let me do this real quick and get that off of there. Toggle pin. Let me say hello to everyone. The skeptic Joe is here. Joe says, not Joe, John and Joe, in fact, are both here.
John
both
and Joe, yes, because Kentucky Atheist is here, I saw.
Yes, both of them here. Kelly's
Joe.
here. Oh, I dig it. And then they kissed. Philip Lister is here. Good morning, Philip Lister. Thank you for joining us all the way from the Danish island of Bornholm in the Baltic Sea. Awesome. It's far, far away. Thank you for joining us. Rational poet Jackie, secular feelinist. Thank you for being here. And John, I want to ask John the skeptic, are you going to be you are going to NanoCon next week?
NanoCon?
I do believe. Is that right? I think he is. Let's see that accent maybe. All right. So, hey, Soot Kelly, good morning. Soot Kettle, good morning. Keep the shirt on, Chris. Just put a bandana on your head. You look even more like Tommy Chong. I guess I might. Well, you know, one thing I have learned is to not wear like a shirt and a tie with glasses. I mean, it's just, I look just like Kentucky Fried Chicken, man. I look just like the Colonel. I do. I could play, especially if I wore like a black tie.
Yeah.
Oh my
Does
goodness gracious.
Is his thing red or is it black? I don't remember. Anyway,
I think it's black.
Any kind of bow tie would do the trick. I think people would get the point.
Awesome. Yeah, so Skeptic, John the Skeptic is on NanoCon, or going to be at NanoCon. I thought so, on the first panel Friday. I'm going to be on the first panel Saturday. I believe it's the first panel about 1 o'clock. And I'm going to be with Seth Andrews. And I get to be the moderator of the panel. I'm very
How many days is it?
Friday night, Saturday night, or Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And they wrap things up Sunday. I'll only be there myself, though, until Saturday afternoon. Then I'll be
Right.
out. But I'm looking, so if you have time, John, next week you can come on the show and we'll talk about our past experience trying not to die in Kentucky. There was several ways Joe tried to kill me. You're muted. There's several ways, though, you know.
You still have brain damage from the heat?
I think I'm finally okay over the heat. I'm still scarred emotionally from the notion I almost got shot through a door.
Oh, God, yeah, getting sent to the wrong place.
Yeah. Come on in. Just come on in. We're in the back.
Just walk in the door.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh, my God.
Kentucky Atheist says, I am no Colonel Sanders. I know. Colonel Sanders is, I mean, he's something else. Okay, Skeptic, do you have me in Discord? Do you just do the Discord thing? We're all about the Discord. Hobo Bread, good morning. I don't recognize the name. If God isn't real, then where did the Colonel's secret recipe of 11 herbs and spices come from? Checkmate Atheist. Suddenly I feel defeated. Atheists. We're atheists. He must be talking to you. That fucked up,
is
Chris.
no
Did I say that? What's that, Ryan?
There's no logical comeback from that. He's got us cornered.
He does. I feel I am defeated. Yes. Saddened and daunted all of a sudden. Good morning, Hobo Brett. Thank you for joining us. This old helmet is here. Just to put things into perspective, Colonel Sanders was born in 1890. Feel old now? I guess I do. Did he really? You know, my understanding though is he did a lot of things in his life and failed at almost all of them, including like being a dad and every other thing. And then finally near the end, like in this later part of his life, he finally hit it with the Kentucky Fried Chicken thing, with the chicken business. But other than that, he was like a stumbled failure from one project to another project. I know how that feels. We have more in common than I thought. I have nothing to do with chicken, though. I never touched that chicken. Good morning.
Adam did.
Adam, I know, right? Remember what we were talking about Raven the other day?
Oh, man.
I think I got you. We almost broke you with that one. Ravendale is... yeah. Ravendale is here. Good morning, Ravendale. I started writing a book, but it's mostly me making scratching noises against the wall. Excellent. That's how I do mine. Deviant Outcast is here. Good morning, ye beautiful sinners, and good morning to our beautiful host, the amazing Super Chris, and Ryan, the salaciously lecherous lioness. I love it. I love it. That's fantastic.
My hair kind of looks like right now.
Yes, it's got that lioness kind of look to it, the wild, you know.
This is the moist for you.
Sing like some Katy Perry roar for us.
Oh, God.
You know, there you go. Shake your head while you do it.
That song is so
I want to tell you something about that song. Several of her songs, but a lot of them are all cliches. They're just a whole bunch of like sayings over and over again that you know. They're just like common sayings and just stuck into a song.
Yes, and that's why people are drawn to them. But her songs aren't good. I'm so sorry, but her first album was the only one I thought was okay, and then everything after that, I was like. There's nothing to it. It's just kind of empty, in my opinion. Anyway.
No, you're right. I dig a few of her songs, a few of her tunes. Now when I see her, I don't know.
She went to space or something like that, didn't she?
Yes.
She should have stayed there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who seem to feel that way.
You should have found the alien husband and stayed up there, girlfriend.
Yeah, her Kanye West. You remember she did that song with Kanye about being an alien?
Oh God, is that with him?
No. Yeah, that was with him. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've kind of forgot about that song.
A high quality individual right there.
And that song was
Saphians.
another one of those like lyrics, just empty pop lyrics.
Yeah. Jason Freer is here. Good morning, Jason Freer. Thank you for joining us. Jesus Unfollower Kevin is in the chat. Good morning, Kevin. He'll be joining us the second half of the hour to do the thing. We're gonna have a special guest, Kevin.
Yeah,
I didn't know if I told you. Yeah,
exciting.
Yeah.
I saw on the thumbnail.
Yeah, very exciting. Ambushed Apostate is here. Good morning. Ambushed Apostate says, I'm taking my daughter to see her in the middle of August. It's been planned for 9 months. You know, that's probably exactly the audience. How old is your daughter? Probably a teen to early 20s kind of girl kind of thing. I think it'd probably be exactly, which doesn't really, I don't know. There are things I don't understand. And sometimes I just take my glasses off whenever I see more than I can understand.
Give them people a break.
I know. Let's see here. But no, I actually dig her. I think there's a lot. Of course, I have a natural attraction to that kind of brunette female kind of person. It's just my thing. Wonder Woman, I think, was my attraction.
Yeah.
Busty brunette kind of thing. Married one. Got my own Wonder Woman.
And she's still so beautiful too, and those eyes.
Oh yeah, that Linda Carter. Goodness gracious,
Yeah.
She is something else. Speaking of babies in space, they're remaking Barbarella with Sydney Sweeney. That's going to be awesome. Cool. I dig it. I mean, yeah. Let's see what happens. I ain't scared. That's one of those that I wouldn't mind seeing a remake. Some things are, don't touch that. It's pure. We don't need a remake of that. Other things are like, yeah, all right, do a remake. Yeah. Apostate. Yeah, cool. So good morning, everyone. Steve C is asking us the important question. Have you accepted Jesus yet? Well, we don't exclude anybody. Anybody can sign up to become a member of the Daily Atheist Morning Show. It's only $1 a month. Jesus, if he wants to, he can. We haven't turned him away yet. When he shows up, we'll have that discussion. Safety Cephala, baby. Oh man, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Saturday.
Yep.
I am very tempted to do, because I'm not doing the eyes. My brain makes me kind of want to do a sci-fi Saturday, because I see these people in here talking about Barbarella and other sci-fi stuff. And you're right, it is a very good opening scene. Sapient Cephalopod. I remember being a young. If I remember correctly, it opens with her kind of floating around in this luxurious kind of thing, and she's taking off her spacesuit or something, and little pieces of it are floating. If I remember right, it's been many, many months. That's what I think it is. I do believe a sapient cephalopod will confirm that in just a moment. Striptease in 0G, yes. Yes. Good morning, Ricardo Gomez, saying hello, Dammers. Welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. All my wonderful peoples, I appreciate you, fellow burners. Glad to have you this morning. Giles is even here. Good morning, Giles. Thank you for joining. I wonder what she was wearing perfume-wise. I don't know. That's a good question. Those are the kind of questions I want answered. You're one of those guys that sniffs women's hair when they're not paying attention, right? Was that
okay, Joe Biden.
Kentucky Atheist says stank. Yeah, that's right. Probably. In reality, on the set of a movie set like that back in the 60s, early 70s, it probably was horrific. Giles says, I like this.
I like it.
We don't kink shame. No kink shaming here. Well, we do kink shame people like Donald Trump.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, Kelly Laughlin. Thank you for joining us. We're having a good time this morning. Kelly, are you going to be able to make the NanoCon? I do see some people. I was wondering if now I think both Kellys are in the chat. So now I've got two Kellys in the chat. And really, to be honest, there was a fair question put to both. I do believe Kelly, the goddess from Chicago, is going to be joining us for sure in NanoCon. Maybe next week, Kelly, you can join us on the show and we can kind of talk about NanoCon and get everybody prepped up for it. And you know what? I think I missed some kind of super chat earlier. Pardon me. Let's End a Jedi donated $2 to the super chat saying, How to find God? Control plus F. God. Ta-da.
What does Control F do? Oh, find. Ha. That's a good one.
Yeah. Alt F4 is a good one too, especially if you're in a game. That's a good one. I will be at the Bat Cruise in a few weeks. So yeah, I would like to go to the Bat Cruise, but they're doing it in Texas. And there's this thing where there's like this cave and it's a bunch of bats and there's this boat that goes out there to see that. And they have refused, despite my pleas, to move it out of Texas. The bats have even said no. So I'm just like, well, I can't go. I don't want to go to Texas. Last time I was in Texas, they took my weed. That's unacceptable.
Oh, really?
Yes, you don't take my weed and threaten to throw me in jail.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so.
Damn.
But then even if I quit the weed, I would still not want to go to Texas. It's still not my favorite places.
There's a few places right now I don't want to step foot in. Texas, right. Florida. I'm like on a ban. I'm so mad at those governors for what they're doing to their constituents. You know what I'm saying?
They're unworthy of my footprints.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of, I feel my tourist dollar. I don't want it going there.
True that. Why? Because Weed Bro is here this morning. Simply Secular Dave, good morning. Format C, yes, that's one of my, Rational Poet, me. That's how old I am.
Delete tree.
Yes, we're bad people. Anthony Fremont, heard they have porta potties on the Ark, asking for a friend.
Do you think they just hang, like maybe they had some circle holes like windows, portal, and they
portholes
put their butt out?
Oh, that's a good thinking. Yeah, a butthole, you might call it.
I said, butthole.
The hole in the side of the thing for you to stick your butt out. You can call it a butthole.
Maybe that's where they got it all from. That's where it came from. The etiology of that.
Wow, what is it about butt jokes and fart jokes? I don't know.
Wait. The portal was really God's glory hole.
This is no time for romance. That's a good one. And that's why you're the wife's favorite. I'm gonna go here. See if I can get that. There we go. Jesus Dick says,
"Yum."
How did you get demonetized on this episode of the Daily Atheist Morning Show? We should talk about you know what? Here in a minute, we should play the foreskin commercial, the 1 minute on foreskin.
Yeah.
Oh, Kelly, the Detroit Atheist Queen, is also attending the Bat Cruise. Good luck, Kelly. Have fun down there with the other Kelly. That's awesome. That's a lot of Kellys hanging out in the same place. Mm-hmm. I think they should have rules against that. God is a glory hole similar to my God-shaped hole. Is God's glory hole similar to my God-shaped hole? That's an interesting question. It is. Those kind of questions we want to know.
Take a look and find out for you.
You could. Yeah, I'll pass. Philip Lister says, no, a poop deck on a sailing ship was the deck at the stern near the butt. Well, no, you're right. Technically, somebody was suggesting you would call it the poop deck because you can.
That probably would make sense.
Yeah, poop deck and buttholes. I like it. God hates foreskins. I know, Steve C. I know. What does God do with them all? Are they all like in a bag up there somewhere?
But why did if he hates them, then why does he have people born with them?
Right. Or did he premeditate this? Like you know what? I'm going to put this on here just so you can demonstrate your love to me by cutting it off later.
I think
is that
that's
not
more
weird?
Likely. I think that's
what kind
likely.
of God? What's that?
I think that's more likely.
Yeah, I dig it. Kelly Laughlin says he deep fries them. I figure he wears them as earrings, like a necklace, foreskin necklace kind of situation.
Mm-hmm. Like Kali and Annette. Then he just
there you go.
And his waist, and he puts like the blood under his eyes. Like he gets himself war paint, starts putting stuff on.
God's version of calamari.
A candy necklace. It's a calamari necklace.
Yeah, it's a candy necklace for God.
That's when he's hungry. Snacks. He has diabetes. He needs a snack every once in a while.
Oh my goodness. I want to run this. I got to do this here. Foreskin. You're not going to believe this. I didn't believe it, but I mean, I was completely blown away whenever I heard it. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Jesus was a Jew, and as such, he was circumcised 8 days after his birth. And guess what? You guessed it. They claim to have the actual foreskin of baby Jesus. Well, 5 or 6 different churches each claim to have the actual foreskin of baby Jesus. But surely one of them is bound to be authentic, right? And I'm sure they put... And I'm sure they put it on display from time to time, as Catholic folk are wont to do. So you can probably even go look at the dick flesh of your holy savior if you want. It's just me laughing a lot. All right, we are back. Yeah, so that's what we're talking about today. Apostate babe.
Mm-hmm. Apostate babe. Linda James.
Clearly, there was something wrong with my microphone.
Yeah, it jumbled it up.
It did. Thank you for that. The save, wonderful. Apostate babe Linda James. Thank you for joining us today. Good morning. How are you doing? I hope you enjoyed that. Therapists are standing by. You know, if this is your first time to the show, John the Heretic is here. Trip is here. Good morning. Yeah, there's a lot we could do. I don't know, but you know, whenever you think about things like the Catholics, they literally have 6 different churches or so. Go look it up. It's been a while. 6 churches that each one claim to have the foreskin of Jesus. You know, how crazy. Divine pepperoni, Left-Handed Jedi says. And now you got to ask.
Tasted it to authenticate it.
Good question. Well, there's plenty of moles out there totally willing to do that. Yeah.
Like a nickel, you know, like the wooden nickel, you know, they just test to make sure if it's metal or wooden.
Yeah. Originally, they didn't use knives. They just gnawed it off.
Like rat.
Oh, shit. We'll get a call. We're going to get a phone call. We're going to get phone calls. Let's see. Dark God 646. Good morning. Morning Demon Gang says, hello, fellow burner. Thank you for joining us. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Did you sin safely? You know, did you hear about the CEO and somebody else? They were sinning. They were not doing it safely at a concert.
What? No, what happened?
A CEO of an AI company and his head of HR, essentially, a woman, were at a Coldplay concert up in the stands, up in the high rich people parts, and they were like snuggling upon each other. And then the camera, like the kiss cam, went to them. And instead of just doing nothing and standing there, nobody would have thought nothing. Instead of doing that, she covered her face and got all weird, and he ducked down, and and that brought it on. And they did not, and they got caught. So these two, they were married, of course, just not to each other.
Right.
And so, yeah, they were not indeed sinning safely. Certainly not smartly, for sure.
Wowsies.
Right. Austin Sim says the history of circumcision in America is absolutely hilarious, mostly due to J.H. Kellogg, the founder of Kellogg's cereal. He was obsessed with food and sex, thought sugary food made people lustful. That's part of the reason why I think if I remember right, he created the Frosted Flakes, because it was supposed to be really tasteless and curb your urge to masturbate.
Yeah, the cornflakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a weirdo.
I can't say I've had a lot of foods that made me rethink masturbation. It's just I've never associated the two.
And Chris, like, we have to continue to talk about this. Why would people want to go back to that time? Like, people always romanticize these times when people were just so susceptible. And I mean, we're still susceptible and gullible to propaganda, but the people would flock to this guy and think that it made sense. Sugar makes you horny.
Sugar makes you horny. I mean, I've been saying, haven't I been saying? So I must have misspoken and said Frosted Flakes. I meant cornflakes. Yeah, I meant cornflakes. I'm a bad person. I'll taser myself until I'm lying in a pool of my own urine later. Probably not for that, just for fun, but I'll use that as an excuse. Here we go. Austin Sims says he was so obsessed with curbing masturbation that at one point he constructed a device to curb sexual appetite by squirting cold yogurt up the back door. This almost seems like a fetish in and of itself.
Yeah, that sounds sexual.
It does.
Wanting to insert something into somebody else.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's probably going, me first. He didn't come up with that shit on his own.
I just have to test it again.
Again, one more time. Can you get a bigger nozzle this time, people?
Should we make it vibrate?
Oh my goodness, that's great. Somebody here mentioned in the chat, yes, it was Sapien Cephalopod, said Road to Wellville, a very funny movie about Kellogg and his insane asylum.
That was weird.
Check that out. Yeah. Oh, you've seen it?
I've seen it.
That's what.
I can't forget that movie.
Yes. Soot Kettle says Ken Hovind needs more cereal in. Revidel says that can't be real. Which part can't be real? Why would Mary and Jesus save baby Jesus's dick flap? That entails him knowing that he can. You know, that's not a bad point to be made. Deviant Outcast. The Catholic Church has many artifacts. What are they called? They got a word for it. It's not artifacts, relics. And I'm talking about, they even claim to have there's a little piece of wood. It's about the size of your thumb. They claim it's from the cradle of Jesus. They have relics of little pieces. You look at it, it's little pieces of hay like this big. They claim that's actual hay from the baby manger, the manger Jesus. Like, who really goes around carrying that shit around? But it sounds like something like a scam artist would sell somebody, a religious person. Just
sounds like something the founders of state-supported Christianity would do.
Oh yeah. Good morning, Kirsten. Thank you for joining us.
I'm sorry.
What's that?
I was just saying when Constantine, hello, sent his mother, wasn't it, to I don't know, to see where Jesus traversed and where he died, and to go collect, pieces of the cross and stuff and set up churches, yada yada. With the money.
Even then, though, right? That's kind of crazy thinking that at that point somebody had been hauling around bits of Jesus dick and baby cradle and hay. But Christians apparently will buy a lot. They will buy a lot.
Yeah, they seem susceptible to snake oil salesmen.
Yes, and there's one of the biggest ones I think is still really going is that the Shroud of Turin. Yeah. They just will not let that go. It's been debunked so many times, and they just will not. And I cannot tell you how many people have come into my comments and saying, how can you deny Jesus existed when there's so much evidence that he was real? And I'm like, what evidence? You got the evidence? Where's that evidence? We have no evidence. There's a whole school of thought called mythicism devoted to the notion that he never really existed because there's no evidence that he existed.
You can put it in one hand and wait for the evidence on the other.
I mean, yeah, really. Their notion, the Bible, of course, half the time is their own version of evidence. So
yeah, the Bible proves itself. Isn't that nice?
It does. David gave the king 200 dick fleshes to marry his daughter, wedding gift. I know, that's one of my biggest. And David is a king. How many people? David is a hero of the Bible. How many people in the Bible or people throughout history have been named David after this person? Or because of this individual's influence. And part of the deal is that he wasn't asked for 200 foreskins. He was asked for only 100, technically, if you want to blame it on someone else and go, you know what? It wasn't him who did this. He was forced by his wannabe father-in-law to do this. Kinda. His wannabe father-in-law said, "Bring me 100 foreskins."
I'm gonna go above and beyond.
Above and beyond. That's like a go-getter right there. That's go-getter.
He's not a bootlicker. He's a dick
No.
licker.
He is. He aims high. There were 3 shouts, and the faces are different on all 3. I thought I heard somewhere that there were more than 1 shroud, but I mean, we've got, I know they hate this, we got like scientific evidence that disproves the notion of the shroud.
It's from like medieval times, I think, right?
Yeah, like 12th century, something like that. At best, somewhere in there. At best. There was sometimes, now see, there was this one of the things that claims there was, and now here's a thought, just an exercise in thought. There could have been a shroud that actually did cover if there was a person named Jesus. That shroud, I don't even know if that was really a thing back in there. You'd have to ask somebody like Dr. Kip. But, there may have been one of those things. The person who created the Shroud of Turin may have created it based on the notion that of the lost shroud of Jesus or some business. But we have like the whole science that says this is not. They're not related. And yet they insist. They insist.
Mm-hmm.
Gary, did David spit or swallow after taking those off by mouth? Yeah, I didn't say it. Imagine if the king had actually given those kinds of instructions. No. You got to chew them off while they're still alive. It'd have been a whole different story.
Oh man, can you imagine no pain relief?
Oh, you're right.
And a flint. I'm guessing that's what, a flint stone.
Right. Now, my understanding, these Philistines in particular were already dead. They didn't have to go through this alive, I don't think. But many did. You're right. Many did. I'm just saying, because I just got finished saying that, I wanted to clarify. Yeah.
I get it. But at that time, just imagine like the brutality of it. Ouch.
Oh, yeah. Austin Sims, there's as much evidence that Jesus actually existed as there is that of Gilgamesh and Enkidu actually existed. There's the same level of evidence saying Paul Bunyan actually existed, Spider-Man, all those kinds of things. Lots of very cool things. That one really cool historical figure, the amazing Super Chris. Let's see, obsidian is sharper than steel. They even use obsidian scalpels in some modern surgeries. I remember Paul Harvey talking about obsidian and that the ancient Mayans or Aztecs would use it. And he went through this whole thing. If you know who Paul Harvey was, it was really cool. Good morning, Oceanus Helios. Thank you for joining us today. People do realize Philistine equals Palestine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably the more appropriate pronunciation, but I struggle with like the other day when I said cache, and I know it's I know what things are, but sometimes I don't know what happens to me.
Well, some of that, I think, I mean, personally, I forgive you for any of those myself, because, well, I mean, if you're English, it's probably cache. If you're American, or especially here, it's cash. You flush your cash on your computer. I didn't put any money in my computer. That sort of thing. Is Vic Lit not feeling well? Good morning, Vic. Where are you? Friday open mic. Don't forget to do the open mic, guys. If you're into the Discord, they hang out, they're fun. Let's see, I can't stick around because of this migraine, but I want to give everyone my well wishes. I hate migraines. They are most unfortunate. Send my love to my damn fam and encourage all to join the damn Discord server Friday Night Fun. There's links, people. Join the Discord. They have a thing. It's a lot of fun. Every now and again, I will pop in. It has happened. And it's fun. I screw up every time. This last time, I ended up being a jerk. I guess I may have been a jerk. I don't know. It was fun, though, for most people. Jolene, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Good morning. You're here today. Thank you. Nice to have you. We're going to have a special guest showing up here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Kelly Laughlin is here. You know what? Because of that, Paul Harvey, the right-wing bigot. Was he a right-wing bigot? I don't remember that about him. But when I knew Paul Harvey, I got to be honest. All I know about Paul Harvey is that he was a news reporter, and he did Paul Harvey. He did this thing at lunch every day. You don't know who he was?
Maybe if I saw his face.
No, he was always he's a radio guy. Seeing his face would probably not help. Even I probably wouldn't recognize him.
Heard his voice, I might know.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did this thing. What was the show called? Do you remember the name of his show? Paul Harvey, The Rest of the Story. So he would do things and tell stories about things. So it'd usually get like a 5 or 10 minute segment. It'd come on during lunch. I had a teacher who would turn the radio on and we'd all listen to it in class. There you go. He was a commentator. He had his son eventually took it over and started doing the stories. They were great. I don't know anything about him beyond that. If he was a right-wing bigot, I have no idea. That would be news to me. But I've been an Isaac Asimov fan for a long time. And I only recently found out that he wasn't misogynistic necessarily. He may have been misogynistic, but it wasn't that he was misogynistic. It was that he was very hands-on with the women. They had to make space. It's like, don't get too close to this guy. He's and that really put a chink in the armor of one of my heroes. Isaac Asimov was one of my, when I was a kid, I was like, man, yeah. So like that story we were talking about, pardon me guys, my windbags, the story about using the obsidian as a blade to cut with. He'd go through a story and he'd talk about how there was this technology, this device that's so wonderful, and he'd give this thing, make it a sound, and then he'd drop it on you that at the end it's actually something that was being used 800 years ago by the Aztecs, that kind of thing. That's the rest of the story.
Dragon glass.
There you go, dragon glass. I love me some dragon glass.
Right.
I kind of, that's a whole, we'd have to have a Sci-Fi Saturday for that. Season 8 kind of skitzed a little bit. We don't want to talk about that. We don't talk about it, but that was a good idea. Dragon glass, the thing and the thing is just crazy. Good morning, everyone. Dares, doesn't matter who cares. I like you, doesn't matter who cares. Screw him. That's cool. I like you until you say something else. Anthony Fremont is here. Never met the man. Kelly Laughlin, face wouldn't help. He was on the radio. That's exactly right. He just had a pretty distinctive voice. And his son had kind of sounded like him, but not enough to really. Even Jesus appeared. All right, even if Jesus appeared before you and performed miracles, you would not believe. RK, that's kind of the problem. But many of us would. If Jesus were God, if he were an all-knowing creature and all that, he would know what it would take, what miracles to perform to convince me.
He can read our hearts.
He would read our hearts. But he's not. He's not really there. So it doesn't matter. You're the person who believes in him despite the fact that no miracles happen. Never mind. I ain't going to go into it. Daryl, good morning. How are you doing? And now you know the rest of the story. I think what I'm going to do now, we are going to have a special guest after the second hour, and he's got the link. He could pop it in any moment. So I'm going to run us a quick commercial. We're going to do some goats. Actually, I want to hit you with the Holy Spirits because that's going to drop the day after tomorrow. The Holy Spirit thing, their first video is going to drop. I'm going to give you that. When we come back, we'll do Theocracy Watch, and we're going to have a good time. Holy Spirits. We'll be back in just a minute.
And for the non-Lord did not say to the people, Amen, for he is not holy. Repeat after me. For he is not holy.
For he is not holy.
Amen. Cross yourself.
My name's Secular Rarity. I'm drinking an apple cider, and we're talking about the time that Jacob wrestled God.
And I'm going to tell you the story of Adam and Eve, but I now live in Phoenix and I don't have any friends, so I'm going to tell it to you as though I'm spilling tea. I'm going to tell you this story as though we're getting together for brunch and I'm just spilling hot goss that I've been waiting to tell you.
Long seconds, and we are back. Okay, and I want to say real quick that before we do the thing, the link is below for the Holy Spirits. Go click subscribe. Watch your show tomorrow. Ryan actually has a shirt she wants to show us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, check this out. Look at this. It says, "This fool had it coming."
It's from Dade.
That is some Dave Murphy merch. We got to hang out with Dave Murphy. We got to hang out with Godless Granny. We got to hang out. Oh, there it is. There it is. That is awesome.
The logo and stuff.
Looks nice. We got to hang out with all kinds of people. I actually met Dave Murphy and Godless Granny at the same time. And so I can tell you people, every one of them, trust me, I know they are not the same person. Despite the similarities and how you might think they might be the same person, Dave Murphy is not Godless Granny. I know this for a fact. I met them both in person at the same time. I knew you'd be excited.
I'm jealous.
Etta Boss is here. Good morning, Etta Boss. Blessed are those who believe without seeing. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. That doesn't sound
Blessed are the
very smart to me.
gullible. Hallelujah.
Blessed, that's where I was going. Blessed are, you know who says that? You know who says things like that? Blessed are those who believe without seeing, are those who are trying to sell you something they can't prove. That's what they say. And then you echo it back going, oh, blessed is me for believing without seeing.
Like, oh, we got a sheep.
We got a sheep. RK is here. Steve sees. Godless Granny is in the chat.
What? Speak of the
devil. You can call her the devil. The she-devil. Good morning, Godless Granny. Thank you for joining us. Secular Philanist is here. Let's see. Godless Granny's He Had It Coming. He had it coming. That's a great song, by the way.
He only had himself.
Godless people rejoice. Michael Rusikoff says, Jesus is the only way to our Father. Bunch of reprobates here. That's kind of weird, don't you think? What happens? I mean, your God is a horrific creature. What happens if you don't follow Jesus? You get fed to this horrific God monster that burns you in a pit of fire. Does it all sound kind of crazy? It sounds like you're worshiping an ancient war god from some kind of desert tribe. Isn't that what it sounds like? Oh my goodness, it does. But you probably, that did not convince you. That was horrible. I'm sorry. Captive Desk is here too.
Dave.
There are a lot of Daves, many Daves. How many Daves in here were named after David, the foreskin fiend?
Well, Dave is a nickname of David, right?
It is indeed. That's why I'm asking the question.
Okay.
I'm glad. Yes, that's right.
And isn't it interesting sometimes that nicknames really they're not necessarily like a short, I mean, it's almost the same.
You're true.
Spelling.
Not all Daves are Davids.
Yeah.
That's right. It's legitimate. No, it's legitimate. I'm a Christopher, right? Not all Chris's are Christophers. You know, not all Christophers are Chris's. Not every pee-pee time is a poo-poo time, but every poo-poo time is a pee-pee time. The knowledge and wisdom you learn on this show. Godless Granny says, I named my youngest a Bible name referring to the Bible person. Interesting. You did, you know, that must be a hell of a conversation y'all have now, Granny. I'd like to, Miss Kelly, that's another Kelly, by the way. We've got all three. Are all three Kellys still in the chat? We are blessed with the Kelly Trinity that was in person together at the Ark Encounter protest just a week and a half ago, is in our chat today, all three of them. Mary and Michelle.
Mean something?
Huh, what's that?
Did the numbers mean something? Is this like a divine intervention here?
It's divine.
Yeah,
it's
prophecy.
More like an alcoholic intervention, but you know, there's similarities. Mary and Michelle is here. You don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
Who are you talking to? Us? Would you? I would love to. What do you want to talk about? Which particular part? Miss Mary, be specific. It looks like you're probably talking to your phone rather than typing, or I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. So, you know, be clear. Which part? Jesus, jealous, you're jealous.
Maybe she is.
I try not to. Maybe, I don't know. Second language. I don't know. Jester, good morning. Kelly is an amazing name. Are you a Kelly too?
Oh boy.
Almost certainly another Kelly. We're dripping with Kellys. Etta Boss, good morning. That's a cool name. You put, I don't know what I saw your thing in there. Tim Bigler is here. Man, look at all these people. Jesus, the ape story for fake children. We don't talk at all. English is not the way. I kind of figured English might not have been. Okay, I get you. I'm not going to knock you on that. Jesus, the ape story. Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that later. I've got a video, in fact, called The Top 10 Reasons Why Jesus Was Not Sacrificed for Your Sins. You should go watch that. It has it in multiple languages now. You can watch it and it'll translate it into it even mocks it to where it sounds like I am speaking. Soy estudiando el español. God, estoy bueno, no bueno, es dia. God, bad. Spongy, somebody just subscribed. Good morning, Spongy. Yeah, so go watch those videos. Go educate yourself on who your Jesus is and all that stuff. You may not realize, I'm talking too fast, even for half the damn English speakers. You may not realize you're in a blood cult. I will now rephrase that using interpretive dance. Hey, let's see your shirt. You're muted. Voice mute. There you go. Oh,
I'm just showing the blood cult, the sacrifice. I just want to honor his sacrifice, by putting
there
him
you
on
go. There you go. There you go. Can you imagine? I watched Seth Andrews do some speaking, and he was talking. He had a little thing, and he showed a guillotine. Can you imagine if Jesus had been guillotined? They'd be little guillotines all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Edibos, why don't you believe in the resurrection despite many eyewitness testimonies and martyrdoms for the faith? Oh, goodness. Can I do this one? I want to do this one. I want to do this one. I want to do this one. There were no eyewitnesses.
Take it and run.
0 eyewitnesses. The earliest recorded writings about Jesus were like 60 years after he died, written by people who weren't actually Christians. If you're talking about Titus and stuff like Tacitus, he wasn't a Christian. He just ran into some Christians, allegedly, who happened to believe in Jesus. He wasn't even born when Jesus was alive. So and other things happened. Allegedly, whenever Jesus died on the cross, didn't something happen? Am I right? Like the tombs broke open and all these undead people rose and wandered about the city. Isn't that something that happened? And yet nobody wrote about it. Nobody. There's no, outside of the Bible, there's no recorded of this, none of this business. So there's no evidence of Jesus at all. You can't wait to see who did the fake spells with the fake marriage you know what? I dig you, man. I appreciate you trying, Miss Mary. I'm just not going to try anymore. I don't get them, but I get you. Again, go watch those things. Mary Michelle. Yeah, again, you talk a lot. You're just not saying anything. I'm just going to ignore.
I agree, Gio. Sam, hearsay isn't evidence, just saying.
Yeah. And then again, whenever we talk about what happened with Jesus, there are no contemporary nobody outside of these New Testament writings confirmed there was a Jesus. So, what about the early Christian creeds, the Gospels, the epistles of St. Paul? What about them? That doesn't prove Jesus is real. It proves at best, it proves some of them believe Jesus was real. But as we mentioned, none of the people who wrote the Bible were alive when Jesus was alive. We're like 2 generations removed. Okay. First of all, Paul never met Jesus. He hallucinated Jesus. He had him in visions, but go look, Paul never met Jesus. Paul saw an opportunity. He was the fucking Joel Osteen of the day. And I see where they say he was already money rich because he was a tax collector. Wait a second. A lot of these preachers are already rich. And yet he switched to doing this and became, not only was he then rich, but he had a following. And now people 2,000 years later are still talking about Paul. You know what? But he never met Jesus. So go look that shit up for yourself.
Oopies.
Jesus. Let's see. Let's see. The chat is going by fast. I appreciate you all. Somebody in the chat, if Mary Michelle, you'd almost be better off speaking in your own language and letting us translate it than whatever the hell you got going on. I just don't understand what the hell you're saying. Just maybe speak in your own language. You would almost certainly be better understood.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Maybe a bot. We'll find out. Time to make the donuts. Hey, Kelly Lofton, thank you for joining us today. I very much appreciate you here. Mary Michelle, you've said a couple things that I do absolutely understand, and some of them absolutely sound like threats. And if you say one more thing that sounds like a threat, I will ban you from my channel. Do you get me? You need to be clear whenever you say things like, what is this one here?
gonna
was
die.
it won't end well. You're gonna be dead. You're dead. Shit like that. And I thought at first things like your death in the spirit and stuff like that. Now it's starting to sound more like you're threatening me and getting threatening. So just you need to stop that shit, or I'm gonna bounce you. I may just bounce you. You're ignorant.
To force someone to love and believe in your God through through
fear.
threat. Yeah, through
Threats,
fear.
yeah.
What the heck?
I'm actually doing a video right now. Right now, I recorded it this morning. I scripted it and recorded it this morning. It's the top 10 reasons why you should leave Christianity. And part of that is because of this right here. Exactly like this right
Mary's fault.
Mary's
You
fault.
should leave, you should leave because of Mary.
You should leave. Yeah. Well, that's a good example right there. Paul believed Jesus was a savior from heaven, but knew nothing of a teacher from Galilee. See, there you go. Paul never knew Jesus. Copying the Bible. I will be on with Bree. Are you going to be on with Bree this evening? Thank you for posting the link. You know what? It is 7:51. We've got 10 minutes before our guest shows up. Let's take a quickie break. When we get back, I really do promise we'll do Theocracy Watch. No, let's just go ahead and do Theocracy Watch, right? People have been waiting, and then here in just a few minutes, we'll do a break, and whenever he gets here, or just before he gets here. Okay, here we go, Theocracy Watch. I don't want to over-commercial people.
You're tuned into the Atheist Morning Show on the Dan Network. And this is Theocracy Watch. Who needs to fix dilapidated schools, feed hungry kids, or house the homeless when you can bow down to bronze saints? Welcome to Theocracy Watch, where we illuminate faith-based power dynamics that exploit taxpayer dollars. Residents of Quincy, Massachusetts from various faiths are outraged after Mayor Thomas Koch secretly allocated near $850,000 of public money for two 10-foot bronze statues of Catholic saints. St. Michael and Archangel, yes, St. Florian, at the entrance to the city's new $175 million public safety complex. Behind the scenes, Koch contracted with an Italian foundry and paid over $760,000 before the city council or the public had the opportunity to review the design or approve. Thankfully, a passionate group of community members, including Catholics, Jewish people, Unitarians, and atheists, as well as others, represented by the ACLU of Massachusetts and American United for Separation of Church and State and the Freedom from Religion Foundation. It's really important that we support these groups, y'all.
Yes, absolutely.
To file a lawsuit this past May. Their argument is based on Article 3 of the Massachusetts Declaration of Rights, which requires the government to be neutral in matters of religion. Like, duh. The statutes have already been cast and paid for, so nearly $760,000 already gone, and they're slated to arrive in August for an October unveiling. Right now, they stand in stark contrast to Quincy's professional goal of serving all residents equally. These bronze icons roll in, non-taxpayers foot the bill, and essential services like school repairs and road maintenance are left bleeding for funds. Installation is currently on hold, but the court will resolve this case sometime in July, and the plaintiffs submitted a motion for preliminary injunction, and a hearing is scheduled later this month. The judge's ruling will determine whether Quincy's public spaces and taxpayer dollars belong to everyone or just one particular faith. By pouring nearly hundreds of thousands of dollars into bronze saints while schools crumble and kids go hungry, Quincy's leadership lays bare the Christo-fascist betrayal of true faith, turning compassion into a spectacle, flaunting virtue and power, and flouting the commandment to love thy neighbor, all at taxpayer expense. Give me a break. So that's your Theocracy Watch.
That is just absolutely crazy. You know, here's my thinking. In our country, in our society, what we need to have in a government is anybody who proposes anything like that at all, even proposes it, that person should be removed from office. Clearly, whenever they even just propose something like, if it goes beyond them secretly talking about it around their kitchen table, and they even suggest it to other lawmakers, they should then be going, hey man, this ain't right. You know, because this is so, blatant. It's so ridiculous. It's so disgusting. The
Right.
theocracy that these people are trying to impose on us. They're fucking saints.
And you dare to make a mockery of, artists and, gay people who are just being themselves, and, maybe in their music, who they are is right there. But yet you're pouring money and resources that could have went elsewhere into bronze statues. And
Yeah.
we can give you plenty of examples in the Bible where that is considered being being a mockery of your
Absolutely.
faith. You're not supposed to draw attention to yourself.
Absolutely. And, I want to mention, in my opinion, the notion that the money that goes to those statues could have gone to crumbling schools is exactly the point. They don't like education. They don't want money to go to those schools, no matter how, even if it is, whether it's statues or whether it's building a huge fence or whatever, they don't want that money to go to the schools.
Nope.
Because they don't want educated people. Educated people leave their religion.
And the fact that he did it without even considering, now you're tying this up in the courts, right? So it's even more waste of public money and services. It's infuriating.
It is absolutely crazy. And how that, again, that they're, even if this individual loses the case, they'll still have their job. They'll still be there doing other harms.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody like that is in office and they have to have a group of other, a body of individuals within the government go, listen, that shit ain't right. You need to stop. Really, the first time that happens should be a big warning.
Yep.
And the notion, again, this is clearly a breach of the separation.
Should be removed.
Yep. Daryl, good morning. Shouldn't the Christian left be calling the Christian nationalists heretics, infidels, and apostates? Some do. I do want to mention, I do believe we have a lot of friends in the Christian community, in the religious community. There are a lot of theists out there who are good people, who believe good things, who don't want their faith forced on other people, whether it be Islam or anything. They have a lot of good people out there. A lot of good people have indoctrinated into bad religions.
Yeah.
But not enough of them, I don't think, are calling out these right-wing Christian nationalists, because too many of them subtly agree with them.
Yep.
That, the children need to learn about Jesus and Christianity because Jesus and whatever, blah, 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 blah. Because they don't know enough about their Bible. They do.
At the end of the day, they believe they have the one true religion. They all do, regardless if they're different. And the end goal is to get everybody to mass convert by whatever means necessary. And Paul even said that if you need to tell a lie to bring somebody to God, do what you got to do.
Right. I want to mention we've got probably maybe a rando poster. I recognize the name, sort of. Anyway, it might be someone says IQ test. Atheism is a logical fallacy that assumes God is the religious idea of the creator of the creation to conclude wrongly no creator exists because a particular idea of God doesn't exist. Thanks. I presume he's not even in the chat.
That was a long sentence.
Yep. A long sentence by somebody who's going to go, hey, you were created. You must have been created by something. And then whenever you go, well, who created your God? They go, no, my God has always been here. My God didn't need a creator. My God, whatever, blah, blah. It's the same old idiotic.
The rules don't apply to him.
And this individual was absolutely correct with their very first statement. I'll highlight it again. IQ test. Yes, sir, it was. And you failed.
Don't think that test was for us. Just saying.
I don't think so. Look, doesn't matter who cares. Gave us a $20 super chat. Thank you very much. Cocaine and hookers, I guarantee. Thank you. I mean, it's going to go to travel. All that money is going towards travel. Now, let me see what you got to say here. Thank you very much for the super chat. Coffee for y'all. It's a death cult. Thank you very much. Do y'all think MAGA will cause more people to leave the church? MAGA. I don't know. That's kind of a toughie. Part of MAGA relies on the church.
Yeah. It could be opening some people's eyes, maybe, if they're questioning.
It could be. Maybe I don't know. That's a good one. Do you think more people will leave MAGA because of the church? That you would think that if Christianity were good and its morals pure, that it would almost be completely incongruous with the MAGA outset that they're better than everybody else. And I don't know. That's a good question. Stumped me on the show this morning. Doesn't matter. Who cares? Thank you for the super chat. We very much appreciate it. I know I missed one earlier.
Thank you.
I know I did. So I missed it. I got so distracted. Let's-Hand the Jedi had a fun. No, I didn't miss one. Okay, good. Thank you all for your support. I appreciate you. Now or never, is Jesus real or made up? You know, I don't know. It's a good question. There's a whole school of thought called mythicism. Godless engineers really big into that. I respect his thinking. He doesn't believe, that Jesus ever existed. I don't know. It's interesting that Jesus, I think John, somewhere in John, it says, if all the miracles of Jesus were written down, there wouldn't be enough books in the world to contain it. And yet none of them were written down. None of his miracles were written down. None of them. It was like we were talking about earlier, 60 years plus after his death, alleged death, that other people started talking about him and writing this stuff down. So why is it? I mean, if Jesus, here's the thing, man, think about this. Use your reason, Leonidas. Listen to me, hear me. Mary Michelle, you're a great example. If Jesus fed 5,000 people with just 2 fish and a loaf of bread, wouldn't someone have written that down? But outside of the Bible, no one wrote that down. You've got that one in the Bible, but outside of that, no one. 5,000 people fed. That's a miracle right there. Would that not be a miracle? Some of you come in here and say, even if Jesus did a miracle right here in front of you, you wouldn't believe him. Well, he did a miracle right in front of those people. And not a single one thought this godly miracle was worth writing down. Don't you think that's a little weird?
A little suspicious.
Yes. Please ban her, Chris. Ban Godless Granny? I don't think we should. Godless Granny? I don't think so. They have too much power now after Donald J. Trump is gone. That's complicated. I'm sure I missed something up there. I went up too far. I'm going to do this thing over here if I can find it real quick. There you go. Thank you, Captive Desk. I'm just going to do that right there. We're done with you. I don't know what they were saying. The chat's going by so fast, I don't even give a damn anymore. I'm going to run us a quick commercial. It's going to be one of our Wild Bill commercials here or something. Let's do fascism. We're talking about, Conspirowin. That'll give us about 2 minutes for our new guest to get in and get seated. Hopefully, if you're there, Kevin, we'll see you in just a second.
Kev.
Are you feeling the world is leaving you behind? Do you look at all the pseudoscience, rumors, and wild speculation on the internet and wonder, why can't I do that? Well, friend, you can. We can help you. We are Conspirowin. Conspirowin has a long history of helping anyone with a hidden truth. We will get your message out. The conspiracy theories you see today all started out with one person's vision. The moon landing hoax was launched by a NASA engineer whose manager didn't okay his vacation request. Conspirowin was there to help out. Christianity started out because one little girl named Mary got pregnant out of wedlock, and Conspirowin saved the day. Now, the virgin birth is accepted Catholic doctrine. You may be thinking, but my idea of the center of the earth being made of ice is far-fetched. No one's going to believe that. In a world where people believe windmills cause cancer, we say no dream is too big. Conspirowin will take your fledgling idea and feed it to our YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok operatives. And these savvy social media professionals will raise doubts with the prevailing scientific consensus. They will say, no one has ever seen the planet's core except Jesus. And science is wrong all the time. That's why science has theories and not Jesus. Within 30 days, we guarantee you CNN will run a story on how your conspiracy theory isn't true. We will also give you 100% assurance Fox News will say your crazy idea about the Earth's core being an icy ball is true. Follow your heart. Listen to the voices no one else can hear. Team up with Conspirowin.
Okay. All right, and we are back with Kevin, Jesus Unfollower. Thank you for joining us today, Kevin. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
I'm pretty good myself, Ryan.
Excellent. I'm excited to see you.
Awesome. You know,
Thank
I'd
God
never heard of
it's
you.
Friday.
Yes.
Yes. Thank Doug. Rock hard for Doug.
Yes. Doug.
Doug, if you're, you know, oddly, we don't seem to have a lot of Dougs.
No
What is
Dougs
it?
in the chat.
Lots of Daves. No Dougs.
One Kev.
We've got a Kevin. Kevin, people in the chat are shouting out at you, saying
Hey,
good morning to everybody. Look at that.
Vic Lit, what's going on? I'm
Thank you,
keeping the
Deviant
chat over here.
Yeah. Deviant Outcast has given us some sex. Thank you very much for the sex, Deviant
She
Outcast.
wanted us to have a threesome with that sex.
I know. 100 sex from Deviant Outcast says, we have people's personal laundry lists from ancient Egypt dating 1,300 years before Jesus. Yet no one thought of even making a stick drawing of a single miracle of Jesus. I call BS. That's kind of the point. Yeah. I
Tell
mean,
him, sister.
there's just so many things. Sometimes they'll go, well, how do you know Alexander the Great really existed? Well, you know, I mean, there are writings from people who knew Alexander the Great. There are also writings from people who got their asses kicked by Alexander the Great, who can kind of verify from both sides that he was a real person. You don't have that from Jesus. Outside of the Bible, you got nothing. Nothing. And even the Bible stories about Jesus contradict. So people, if you're a Christian in the chat, you got to be asking yourself the question. Thank you, Luis, for joining
Where are
us.
you, Kevin?
Well, even so, like the level of the claim is like you're claiming supernatural stuff versus like Alexander the Great just being a normal person. Nobody's saying that he was like the son of God or anything. So there's like another level to that. Like you need to prove a little bit more, you know, if you're trying to make these claims about a person.
How do you feel? Are you more of a mythicist, or you believe he was a real guy? Like,
I don't really know. I think there was probably a Jesus that existed. I don't really argue with people too much on that because I don't really think that it matters. I think that
me too.
If Jesus existed, like that doesn't mean that he was the son of any God. So it doesn't really matter to me if he did or not.
Mm-hmm. It's like the wrong thing to be getting stuck on.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, let me go back just a step because I want to say this is Kevin from the Jesus Unfollower channel. Other than that, I have no idea who you are. Yesterday, Dade Murphy stepped up and said he'd vouch for you. I went and watched like 7 minutes maybe of one of your shows because, you know, I'm just that way. And other than that, I have no idea who you are. Would you like, I'm going to put you Biggie on the screen here so I can covertly smoke some marijuana. I mean, I'm going to put you big on the screen. So
the devil's lettuce.
Yes, yes. And tell us about yourself, man. Who are you? Who be you?
Sure. My name is Kevin. I am 42, from Knoxville, Tennessee. I grew up as a Christian, but I wasn't.
So you're sweating right now. Everybody always sweats in Tennessee. Sorry.
It's 90 degrees all the time. It went from like being 70. It always does this. There's no like gradual move to summer. It goes from feeling pretty good to you're sweating all the time.
Gotcha. Carry on with your story, with your life.
Yeah, but I was born in Michigan, moved to the South when I was really young, but we went to church when I was a kid, but I wasn't like a hardcore Christian like a lot of people are. Like we didn't go every Sunday. I went to a public school and it wasn't a super strict Christian household. We watched regular TV. It wasn't like we were confined to only Christian media and stuff. But when I was like 15 or 16, we changed churches and we started going to this Pentecostal church, which was unlike anything I had ever seen. Walked in, the keyboardist stops playing and starts running laps around the church. You know, the music is insanely loud. People are jumping around. Like I had gone to Baptist churches before that, so I had never seen anything like that. And it was kind of shocking at first, but then it's crazy how quickly you get used to that. And so we were going every Sunday. Then it started every Sunday and Wednesday, Sunday night. Then they even had like Friday night church. They called it Friday Night Fire. Really? So that's how I spent my Friday nights in my like late teen years and early 20s at church a lot. But Jesus, yeah, it was
interesting.
Awful, but I got married young.
Oh, did you?
Church. Yep. Got married young. Got divorced later on. But yeah, I became an atheist in like 2009, and
Okay.
I didn't really talk about it for a long time. Probably not a lot of my family knew. A lot of my friends didn't know. I wasn't like obviously creating content or anything, but for like 10 years, I didn't really talk about it that much. But I think with like the Trump presidency and just seeing all the Christian nationalist crap going on, I started making content, and I started on Instagram, and that's like my main platform. But I also then I started on YouTube pretty quickly after that, and I've just been making atheist content for like the last 5 years, off and on. I went pretty hard on YouTube earlier, then I stopped for a while because like my employers were Christians, and I was like, if they find my channel, are they gonna like let me go and all that stuff? So sort of pumped the brakes on the YouTube stuff there for a while, but I'm back now.
Back in 2019, I fired up the Daily Atheist Morning Show, and I ran it for a year, and then I just burnt out.
I remember that.
And then then I came back, so I'm back now. Well, that's cool. So now you're back. Now you're doing your channel. What do you do on your channel? What's your stick over there?
Well, I try to like make stuff that's more on the funnier side, because like I'm not super well educated when it comes to theology and the Bible and all that stuff. I'm not trying to be a scholar. There are like so many channels out there that are, go in depth on stuff like that. Or there are a lot of channels for people like people who are licensed therapists around religious trauma. I'm not trying to make that kind of content. Yeah. So I just try to make a silly video. Like I react to some Christian cringe. I like react to comments that I get from Christians that tell me to go off myself. I'll make videos about that, or like just a lot of kind of some reaction stuff, and just some like just asking questions. Like I just did a video that was like change one word in any movie to make it a Christian horror film. So just like dumb stuff like that. Yeah, I just like doing silly things mostly.
That sounds funny.
Yeah, of course I make serious videos and serious posts too, but I try to like. My whole thing is I know that so many people have a lot of religious people around them, a lot of religion around them at home, at school, at work, and I just want to like, if I can make somebody like do a little sharp nose exhale laugh at a post, then that's good enough for me. Like I've done my job.
Even us atheists need a good religious joke,
Yeah. You got to kind of make light of it sometimes, because it's a really heavy subject.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm all about that. That's my whole bag.
Yeah, that's why I like y'all's show so much.
Yeah. We got people, this war, if you will, against Christianity, which is being imposed upon us, has many fronts. And we use our comedy. That's, we're the comedy relief. I am at least the comedic relief. Is that right? We have other people who take it a little more seriously. And, I used to kind of think the same way, especially whenever I started up the channel originally. I was like, I don't know enough about this Bible stuff hardcore to really speak so much on it, like you were saying, but I can make some light. If you're coming to my channel, you're not looking for in-depth knowledge, but as we've gone along, I'm kind of surprised about how much I do know and how little our opponents know of their own religion.
Right?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just boggles me.
They're busy listening to somebody else's version of these stories versus reading it for themselves.
The Christians are always like, read your Bible. It's like, I have multiple times. What are you talking about?
Right.
But when you do, you realize they're adding stuff to it.
And, a lot of the things that Christians do now, are like, is that a good Christian of you to be doing that? Is that good Christian of you to be taking food out of children's mouths? Is that a good Christian of you to be telling other people what to do? Well, you know what? Their Bible, when you actually stop and look at it, it's example after example after example of immoral activities, murder, death, kill, just from start to finish. Now they say, oh, Jesus comes along, he's like, be nice to other people. But you notice they don't want that part of the Bible stuck in the classrooms. They don't want the Sermon on the Mount. They want the 10 Commandments. And it just...
Have you heard that there's been complaints from certain churches that when their preachers or whatever have spoken about, Jesus saying, to give to people and be caring and don't judge and all the fluffy good stuff, that people thought they were being woke, that their pastor was being woke and they didn't believe it was actually in the Bible?
Really? Oh, yeah. I can see how
Yes.
that would be a new thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you believe he
part
said
of-
love thy neighbor?
Right.
Unreal.
Right. Not. Yeah. Goodness gracious.
What in the hell?
There's a place in there where doesn't he tell them specifically how to treat foreign peoples in their land?
Mm-hmm.
You know, treat them as you would treat yourself, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they don't want to listen to that. But then they talk about how they don't. Well, they really what they do is they follow the old ways
Mm-hmm.
and
They
wear
love,
the
they
hat.
love Old Testament God. They love the Old Testament God. They don't care about the New Testament as much. They love the vengeance, you know, and the wrath and like punishment.
Mhm.
That's the things that they gravitate toward.
They use him to lay down the law and put the foot down, but Jesus to put the candy coating on the pile of shit to make it look like it tastes good.
Absolutely. Right. And you can find all kinds of things in the Bible that they're absolutely contrary to. This whole notion of being anti-abortion, and that's how they're good Christians. They're anti-abortion. There's nothing in the Bible about being anti-abortion. It's quite pro-abortion, in fact.
Right.
Even down to the point of giving instructions as to how to do it. So a lot of this they just make up as they go along.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Maverick being frank is here. Christianity is not fading away. Atheism is. Yeah. See, there's a lot of people that just don't realize. Part of the thing is, I think, we did a study, we did a theocracy watch on this very topic. And the results were actually, Ryan did it. The results were that in places where people are educated and society is advanced and evolving, Christianity and other religions are on the down. But in places where they don't have good science, they don't have good education, they don't have good schools, South American, broken down poor countries, sub-Saharan African countries, in places like that, Christianity is indeed on the rise. That in itself is telling.
It's pretty telling.
Yeah. Yep. And we see where this country is headed. Why are they attacking our schools?
Oh, absolutely. They're all about going after the schools, no doubt. Yeah, get them, Deviant Outcast. Burger is king. I dig that too. Let me see here. I want to ask you more about you while we've got you. I only found you recently on the show. How do you know Dave Murphy?
Actually, he made a short here on YouTube using one of my the audios from one of my shorts. And he tagged me, and so then I found him that way.
Cool.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, he's been pretty awesome. I got a Dave Murphy cup.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome.
It was awesome. Yep.
Yeah, I need to watch more of his stuff. I haven't seen a lot of it yet because I just subscribed to him the other day, but yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Dave Murphy, we all have different ways, and Dave Murphy, he's got a lot of it's like a TikTok. He's got a lot of
he's got the interaction.
Shorts. Yeah, he's got short videos and live streams off a phone, but no long form videos, none of that stuff.
Yeah, I saw him. I saw him going live vertically. Maybe yesterday. I saw it when I got on YouTube.
Darn, I missed it.
I think, and I haven't checked, but I think he may have his first long form video on his channel if he dropped his speech.
He did. I watched it.
Oh, cool.
Way to go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think I saw that too. I saw a lot of them. It's all a blur in my brain.
Yeah. You witnessed it that day with the sun baking it into your head.
It's great. It's cool to see so many creators start to spring up. I started doing this in 2019, 2020, and there are so many people now. I mean, there were some back then, a decent amount, but it's there's a lot of voices in this space now, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
It is. I dig it. I too was back there again, 2019, 2020. And there were some voices that we had then that just aren't around anymore. There was a smaller group, a lot of little groups that we just don't see anymore. And then other ones like Godless Granny. Godless Granny was a fresh new channel when I met her, and I still don't think I'm bigger than her, even after coming back. I think she's got a shit ton of subscribers. Godless Granny's building a channel over there.
Mm-hmm.
She's building her own cult following.
Yeah, she's been consistent at it for. That's one thing I can't say for myself is consistency, because I went hard for a while and then I went away and came back, did a few videos, went away again. I've always been consistent on Instagram and TikTok, but not YouTube, because I mean it's a different beast. But
sure is.
It really is. Ryan is a TikToker.
Yeah, I built like several. I built several channels with thousands of people, and I come here and I'm like, clinging.
Yeah.
But you get to go a little deeper here. People get to know more of you and your personality, and you like
Much deeper.
It's just different. Yeah.
It is. And even though like TikTok is more like how Dade's kind of doing the video replies and interacting with YouTube, you can interact, but it's just in a different way. So you just have to figure out how it is that you can, build like your own little community.
Yeah.
We'll get there. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, to your point though, Kevin, it is indeed a good the community is doing great. It's growing.
That's awesome.
You've probably heard us talking about our Ark Encounter protest last week. There's upcoming NanoCon. You're not gonna make NanoCon, are you, this time? Oh, are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be there.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Are you on a panel or a guest?
No, I'm just a guest. They reached out to me because I was shouting them out in my Substack and on Instagram, and then I guess they said that if they heard, like a few people told that they heard about NanoCon from me, and so then they asked me if I wanted to come, and so I'm going. But yeah, I'm not going to be on any panels or anything, but I'll be there.
Excellent.
Very cool. I look forward to meeting you.
Yeah, you too. I almost went to the Ark protest, but I couldn't make that one. But yeah, I'll be at NanoCon.
I'm getting a lot of FOMO. It's not fair.
Yeah. Well, the one there was BajaCon I missed out on. I'm going to miss out on. It hasn't happened yet. I'm just not going to be able to make it for that one.
Is that in Canada?
It is in Canada. It is in Canada. But there's the Freedom from Religion Foundation thing that's happening in October. And if you're not part of the Freedom from Religion Foundation or familiar with them or whatever, go be, because they're very important. They're on the front line of defending they're the lawyers fighting.
Yeah.
Really. They're a bunch of lawyers. They really do a lot of good. I'm going to get to meet Dan Barker next weekend.
Lucky you. Cool. He's a great guy.
He is. I have 3 of his books. I was looking at them yesterday. One of them is a first edition. Dan Barker.
Ooh.
I know.
You're going to get it signed?
I am. Definitely.
Nice.
This will be my first atheist convention of any kind that I've been to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't been to it before. Yeah.
You're gonna love it. It's like one of those Christian conventions where you leave it and you just feel like, empowered by Jesus.
Feel the Holy Ghost running through me.
But it's just a different kind of feeling. You just feel like community and empowered to like do more things for the community.
Yeah. You don't hate yourself quite as much and feel like much of like a worthless person.
No guilt or shame.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm a piece of shit, but thankfully he saved me.
He gave his life for me.
Well, the Ark Encounter protest was my first experience with one of these, conventions, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I guess I actually got to be a part of it and lead it, like a band leader or something, so it's a little different from somebody who just, this is my first time going to a concert. This is my first time being on stage, being part of a concert. And,
I saw
next
you on
weekend,
emceeing, or I guess you were bringing Godless Engineer up to the stage on his channel. I saw that.
Yeah. I've always wanted to do that, and I did it.
You did the damn thing.
You did the thing.
Yeah. Our next guest needs no introduction, and I just walked off. I'm a bad man.
But he did a pretty good job on his speech. He did a good job on his speech.
Oh yeah, they all did. They all did great. Ember was fantastic. Kicked the door in, rocking it right out the beginning.
Good opener.
Now next weekend, when are you going? You going Friday? You gonna be there Friday night?
I'll be driving up Saturday early.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
I wish I could make it Friday, but I don't think I'll be able to.
Understood. No worries. I will be doing stand-up comedy Friday night, and then Saturday I'll be on a panel with Seth Andrews. So I'd like to. Hopefully you'll be there for that one.
Yeah.
What other plans do you have, if I may? You've been doing some live streams with other people. Yeah,
I did a live stream with my sister the other day. I like doing. Yeah. Oh yeah, you were. Yeah, she was there. Yep. I like making videos, but I like live streaming too. I'm trying to figure out a good balance. Like, I think I'll probably stream once a week or something. I can't do it every day. Like, I guess it's the introvert in me maybe, but just trying to make consistent videos every week. always, posting on Instagram, posting on TikTok, and doing the Substack thing. But yeah, I'm trying to release at least a video or two every week here on my YouTube channel.
That should help.
Yeah. I got to get back to consistency. I think YouTube, they're like, oh, this guy doesn't care about us anymore. And they don't, nobody sees your videos if you don't, post them consistently.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like they want to make sure that you're attached to your account. Right. I try to make sure I'm answering, because I was never really good at that, but now I'm trying to make sure that I comment back to people, because if you really are trying to build rapport, you've got to interact with people. So I'm trying to make sure I do that now. But I do think that they want to see that you're dedicated.
For sure.
That's very true. Now
I want to collaborate with more people too. That's one thing I haven't really done a whole lot of on YouTube.
You should do.
Especially guest spots like this or stuff like that.
Especially if you do skits, you write skits, you absolutely should try to work with cool people like me. I mean, I don't know, but something like that would probably be really neat.
Hey, I'm down.
Right. I
need to do more of that. I haven't done enough of that. That's probably also the introvert in me of I'll just stay back and do my own thing and not, mingle. Yeah.
So do you have skits? Is that what you've got going on over there? You do skits on your channel, or is that something you're working on?
I've done a couple little skits from time to time. I did one video where I had Puppet Jesus, who you see behind me. I do silly stuff like that sometimes.
Gotcha. Let's see if we can see Puppet Jesus. I'm gonna put you big on the screen, and we'll see Puppet. Oh, hey, there's Puppet Jesus.
Yeah. It looks like he's giving a thumbs up.
It does. It does. It kind of reminds me of John, the Godless Engineer. He's got whenever somebody does a super chat, he has a Puppet Jesus come up. It reminds me of that.
Oh yeah. I killed him 2 days ago, so he should be coming back to life tomorrow.
Anytime. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Okay. Yeah. But until then.
It's like Elf on the Shelf, but it's not.
Jesus on cheeses. I need to put a plate of cheese underneath him. Jesus on the cheeses or something.
There you go. Jesus on the cheeses.
That's a good plan. I tell you what, I'm going to go get a cup of coffee to take ourselves a little break. And whenever we get back, we're going to talk more about the stuff. Enjoy the pup. We'll be back.
Finnegan!
Yes, sir. Very disturbing, I know.
Fetch me Father Finnegan.
Your Highness.
You are in the presence of His Holiness, the Puppius Maximus, guardian of the sacred fire hydrant, defender of the holy tennis ball, and eater of the golden kibble, Pup Oliver Poopsalop the Fifth.
Your Popedom. I heard you have a bone to pick with me.
Condoms, Father Finnegan?
No, thank you. I've got plenty.
That's what I mean. Why are you selling condoms?
Oh, you mean our Faro Sombrero line of condoms? Understood.
You know how we feel about those around here.
Well, they're not to be used by the Catholics, of course.
Not for Catholics?
No, they're part of our Sinner Gonna Sin Lack of Faith outreach program.
A sinner gonna what?
It's like getting the tithe, but from the heretics and the heathens and the atheists.
Oh, well, when you put it like that.
But, Your Highness, this will reflect very poorly on the church.
True. You know what this means, Flanagan?
Warning label. A warning label on the box. Not for Catholics in big letters.
Too subtle.
Instant purgatory if used by Catholics.
I like it. Divine branding.
Excellent, Your Popedom. Will there be anything else?
That will be all. You may leave.
All right, and we are back. I don't know if you're familiar with this, Kevin. We usually do a poll. I want to show you my poll.
Ooh,
and we'll see how things are. The question of the day is, and you may actually have an opinion on this. Pardon
Bet
me.
you would
I
have
just-
an opinion on your poll.
Yes, you might have it. Yes, not normally though. So the question of the day is, what's the best reason to leave Christianity?
Okay.
Okay. The options are Christianity thrives on fear and guilt, not love. Option number 2, hypocrisy of its followers and leaders. Option 3, the Bible's own morality fails by modern standards. And then all of the above. Apparently that is the popular one. We got some comments. NTR Impact. Really, this one's a really good one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, tithes. 10% of your income is no joke. Plus offerings and pledges on top of that. Spend money somewhere else. Donate a little bit to animal shelters. Had me hooked right there.
Yep.
Right there. Or people. I don't really like people. So animal shelters owe you a lot. That need help. Yeah, the people that need help. Time, you know, the time, the mental health. That's really part of it. The mental destruction that it really can put on people themselves. And then how they apply that to other people, the stresses. So this was really, I had to pin this one. I don't normally pin somebody else's comments, but I did this morning. Van3366 said, it's a filthy religion of bigotry, misogynism, I believe, and hate. Yeah, I guess so. That's probably right. Etta Boss said none of the above. I think Etta Boss is even in the chat this morning. Probably both wrong in the chat and here. Jesus is a solar myth, the personification of the life-giving sun. Man, you really need to tell these people that shit. They don't. Doesn't apply to me. I was never a Christian. Good to you. Good morning, right-handed Sith. Mark, I hope you're doing great. Left-handed Jedi. Shed the guilt, the fear, and the shackles of control. Well, then you have nothing. There wouldn't have a religion. After that. Option number 5. There is no good reason. Have a blessed day from.
That's what I was going to say.
Really? Just have a blessed day.
That's exactly what I was going to say. No, I was going to say there's no good reason to believe in the first place. Like that, to me, that's reason enough for me is that, you know, even it's not even about, there's all the other stuff is horrible, but
no,
there's not a good reason to believe, period.
If I may, I could be mistaken. What I think that individual is saying is that option number 5, there is no good reason to leave Christianity. So this person is saying there's no good reason to leave Christianity. The question you're answering is there's no good reason to stay in Christianity.
Interesting.
So there's, see.
Yeah, I misread that. I thought they were saying there's no good reason to stay, but
it all went.
There is no good reason to stay, though. What does it do for you? I don't get the whole like he died for your sins, so like everything's good, but then it's really just not good because they continue to punish you every freaking day.
Yeah.
Every day, you know, we can go over some of that too. You know, the whole notion that Jesus Christ died for our sins. That's one of my favorite. Or the notion that, you know, well, if Jesus did, isn't he burning in hell now? It wasn't well, that's what I was going to be doing. And if he's taking my place and he's in hell now.
Now, besides, we didn't ask him to do that. Like you did that on your own, bro. I didn't ask for that.
I didn't consent to any of this.
And neither did he. He was hiding in the Garden of Gethsemane, right?
Yeah.
You know?
He did not consent.
So not much of a sacrifice that they got to come take it away from you.
Classic
and then on the
Old
flip
Testament
side,
God.
Yeah. And on the flip side, though, if it was a sacrifice, giving yourself to yourself is nothing. He's just a spirit. He transitioned from one phase of God to another phase of God to another phase of God to another phase of God, back to Jesus. He didn't really sacrifice nothing.
It's all
like solid liquid gas. God, Jesus, Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit
that's what it is. Yes.
When you fart, that's the Holy Spirit.
People.
There you go. There you go. Native. There's a lot of that. Especially whenever it comes to the misunderstandings that the Christians seem to have with their own faith. So many of them don't know nothing. The whole notion that you could start telling them the words of Jesus and they would think Jesus is woke.
Yeah.
You know? That's kind of
crazy. Who said that? Who said that? Oh, your savior. That's who. The person you apparently know nothing about. He's a direct quote from Jesus. That's woke.
right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me ask you: Have you been on Neil the 604 Atheist channel yet and give him your story?
I did, yeah. Like I think it was either 2020 or 2021, so it's been a long time. But yeah,
wow.
way back in the day, I went on there. That was because like in 2020, I was consistently making videos every week, but it sort of faded over the next year or two, but I'm back now.
Well, Neil is actually doing things where if you've been on his show, but it's been a while, he's doing a revisiting thing.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, check with him and get him on the schedule. Get you on his schedule.
Didn't you go on recently? Did you go on?
Yes, same thing. I was on his channel back in 2019, and recently I was on hey, look at me.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yep. So
yeah.
That is pretty cool. Let's see. Shashir Bagat, thank you for joining us. Please suggest me a good book for refuting Christian theology. Well, there are probably several. I don't know. That's a tough one. I've got one called Antitheist. You can buy from Amazon. Links in my link tree. In that one, it just gives you 10 reasons, essentially. That's each chapter is a reason why religion is shit. One of them is from how women are treated. The other one is, it just goes on. The devil has his own chapter 6.
Oh, nice.
I love it.
Yeah. Couldn't miss the opportunity right there.
Of course.
And then, the misogyny, all those things. He covers all the good things that why you wouldn't want to do it. This is Sparta. Blasphemies down the hall. So true. Demon Haunted World. Dan Barker's books. I want to show you something.
That's what I was going to say. The Demon Haunted World, Carl Sagan. I mean, that's just to kind of dispel the supernatural. And
right.
That's a great book.
Interesting. I'm going to pull me down for just a second. Somebody made a recommendation about some books. I'm going to go get them and I'll show you some. Be right back. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Oh, talk amongst yourselves. I'm getting
talk amongst yourselves. So you don't have any plans other than just making some content for your channel?
Yeah.
Have you told your story? Like, have you actually taken some time to explain kind of what you just did for us?
Yeah, but I was telling my fiance that I might have to do that again because it's been a while. I made a video on my channel way in the beginning of the channel. That kind of
do really good right now.
Yeah.
If you haven't noticed the whole why I'm I do think there's a multitude of people kind of awakening or at least now feeling more comfortable seeing everybody else open up to tell their stories and share their stories. So I really think that would be, I kind of feel like I need to do it again. Every so many subscribers, you probably should just hit that again. That's my suggestion.
That's a good call because that's still the top video on my channel and I made it forever ago and it still keeps it gets more views every month. So I think I should probably do another one of those, especially because that one was I just sort of recorded it in one take. It was vertically, it's a regular YouTube video, but it was shot on my phone. So it's not great quality and stuff. So might have to redo that. Yeah.
Yeah. I would suggest doing that. And I would be interested in hearing more other than the little condensed version I got to hear today.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
Chris.
for sure.
There I am out. Somebody asked questions about books. These are books I bought probably 13 or 14 years ago here in Albuquerque. I met Dan Barker at an atheist thing. Get over here, camera. And so here's Losing Faith in Faith by Dan Barker. And then here is Godless by Dan Barker. I think this one even has a foreword by Christopher Hitchens. Oh, foreworded by Richard Dawkins. That didn't age well. And this one here, The Good Atheist. Okay, this is my first edition book. The other ones are not. I went and looked; they are not first editions, but this is first edition. If I get a brand new book and it's never been broken, I try not to break them. So now after all this time, it's still But if I get a used book and it's already broken up, and I don't.
Right,
that's my first edition.
Dan
Barker.
So cool. I haven't seen that.
Dan Barker books. I'm going to drag these with me to NanoCon, and I'm going to ask him to sign them for me.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yes. I bought them at a Albuquerque Freedom from Religion Foundation meeting that I was at, and I was so nervous. I briefly spoke to him, but I forgot to ask him to sign the books.
Starstruck.
So, I know. See, Rational Poet Jackie, see what you were fuck Richard Dawkins. He is a transphobe. See what I meant? That's where I was going. I was saying it didn't age well.
That's a shame, man down, down.
Yeah. Some of us, I say it sometimes, some of us are older and we, it takes a little more strain to understand some of the newer things that were not readily understood when we were younger.
I never heard about any of this when I was younger.
Yeah, me either. Trans people and all that stuff. There were words that were used for trans people back then that if I said those words now, they're slurs. And that's all I knew of them. I wasn't even sure, to be honest, if it was real that you would have somebody with different genitals. I didn't realize until I got older and got exposed to that sort of thing. And so
him being oh, sorry, go ahead.
He is even older than I am. I maybe look old, but he's way older than I am. But I had the dynamic ability to adjust my views and accept the things that I don't understand and trust the people who do know those things. And he didn't.
And again, if you always keep humanity as a freaking baseline, like give people rights, basic human rights.
Exactly.
That's a good jump off, bruh.
Good start. Yeah. Doesn't matter who cares. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Says at Kevin. Here's some coffee, by the way, Kevin, for coffee. I was curious if you could discuss what it's like being an atheist in such a religious part of the country.
Oof, good.
Yeah, how's that work for you?
Yeah, this is an incredibly red state, Tennessee.
Yeah,
it's wild. It's wild. I had somebody. I was at a company Christmas party a few years ago, and it came up that I was an atheist, and one of the guy that I worked with, his wife was there, and she looked at me. You would have thought that I like murdered somebody or something, and all it was just that I didn't believe in God. And it was like, what? Like, it blew her mind, and she looked like disgusted by that fact. So that's a little small sample of what it's like to live here in the Bible Belt.
Wow.
Drive past the church every 5 seconds. Everything, God and everything. I've had employers where we pray before work.
Wow.
All that stuff. It's like by default you're a Christian here, and like everybody just assumes that you are until otherwise.
It's the norm.
It's you can find your people, especially now with social media and stuff. It helps because when I first became an atheist, I didn't know any other atheists, I don't think, and I didn't for a long time, and you just feel very alone because like nobody else thinks this way. You feel like an outcast for sure, and you don't want to bring it up to people because of getting those crazy looks or them just not being able to compute or thinking that something is wrong with you. Like, I made a post on Facebook about like coming out as an atheist like 4 or 5 years ago, and people in the comments were like, well, we still love you anyway. Like there was something wrong with me. Like, well, that's okay. We'll get through this.
Right. Hate the sin.
Christ.
Yeah. Love the sinner.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. My most visceral experience with somebody's reaction was early. Whenever I first became an outspoken atheist, I was still in Texas, and I mentioned that I was an atheist, and I had a lady step back and cross herself.
No way.
Yeah. Protect me, Lord Jesus.
That's crazy.
I guess.
Yeah, isn't just the pure absurdity of you don't know who anybody is when you go anywhere, when you're in a grocery store. Like, are you going to walk up to every single person that you ever interact with and say, "Are you a Christian? Are you a Christian?" It's just weird to me.
I know. And they look at us like we're the weird ones. We're the weird ones because we don't believe there's like a sky wizard, a dead invisible, or a dead carpenter that's going to return parting the clouds on a white horse. We're the weird ones. That makes a lot of sense.
Nah, not one bit.
It is. I've been missing in the chat. Who are we talking about banning?
Sorry guys, I'm not looking.
We got a couple of antagonists in the chat. Most of them are doing okay. One of them, like we lost earlier, because she wouldn't quit with the personal threats. So I don't know. We got somebody else being a douche nozzle in the chat. No offense to douche nozzles for comparing you to that jackass. No offense to jackasses for comparing you to that douche nozzle. Joey VLD, good morning. Thank you for joining us. The most radical for me is the downright terrible Jehovah's who say I have to die at the pride parades.
Did Jehovah's Witness say that to you?
Yeah, there's a question. Oh, Ryan asks.
I would love to know.
She would want to know. Yeah, that's interesting. Was that ever your experience? What were your thoughts as a Jehovah's Witness, Ryan? Gay and lesbian people, thoughts?
Not good, bad,
Not
evil,
good, bad, very
sinners, giving into their temptations, being tempted by Satan. I mean, they do kind of try to say love the whole thing of hate the sin, love the sinner. But they don't even really do that too much. Honestly. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want to be around them.
I was looking at Chet's chat here. Chet's chat. It sounds like a TV show. Where he says, try this. When somebody nearby sneezes, don't say a word. It's very telling. That would be funny. He didn't say bless you. He must be satanic.
There you go. A devil worshiper. Jesse James time. I didn't notice. I don't know if I said hello to you when you popped in. Hello, Jesse James time. I really hope it's all stories just to keep mankind in check. I maybe keep mankind in check and to keep religious leaders' bellies full. Bit of both. Native atheist. Only a fool would be a carpenter in the desert climate, right? How many trees are there in Israel? There's not a lot of trees. There's not a lot of trees there.
True.
I'm just saying.
I never thought about that.
Let me see here. So how long now have you made? I want to ask this question. Have you made now a conscious decision? You're really leaning into being a content creator.
Oh yeah.
Found the schedule.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll be posting videos every week here. I've like sort of halfway come back multiple times because for a while I was trying to figure out, do I want like being an atheist to be what I make content about? Do I want that to be my brand? Like, is that something that I'm going to want to talk about for years? And I would kind of go back and forth on it because I would burn out a little bit. I would get tired of talking about religion sometimes. And like, of course, all the comments that you get from people telling you to end your life or, you know, that they're going to do disgusting things to your family and that kind of stuff is like, kind of weigh it out. Do I really want to keep doing this? But, you know,
how much do I like my family?
Yeah. I think it's more important now than ever to make this kind of content, to talk about this. And like I'm sharing it on my like personal pages, which I hadn't done before now. Cause I'm like, I kind of reached a breaking point where it's like, I don't want to keep this part of myself as like not something that I talk about, you know, my personal stuff too. So it's just like taking that extra step. Cause I think it's more important now than ever with, you know, we see the rise of Christian nationalism and how insane it is right now. There needs to be as many voices as possible in opposition to that.
Before it's too late.
Yeah.
Before none of us can speak up, you know, before they make it illegal to say anything, before everything we say that's anti-Bible is considered anti-Semitic, and therefore, you know, we can be arrested and who knows.
They already have that task force, the anti-Christian bias task force thing that Trump was trying to set up or whatever. Like
the faith office, and they got people speaking gibberish, praying outside of the White House.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Oh, it's disgusting. Part of the whole bag with this faith office is this anti-bias office is they're now trying to give everybody the ability to rat on they're encouraging people to tell on other people. It's just like you see out of dystopian movies or some kind of sci-fi thing where they're just like, obey, you know, report your family if they're doing something bad. You know, like The Running Man. You might remember some of The Running Man, some of those things. It's right out of that shit where some authoritarian fascist regime is. They've even talked about having some sort of competition. And if whichever one of the immigrants makes it, they get to stay in the country. That was talk amongst the likes of people like Christy. Yeah, something like that. Christy Nome or somebody. Some kind of thing where they would have games and those that made it through would actually get to stay in our country or some shit.
That's the most American thing I've ever heard in my life. A reality show to
bread and circuses.
Insane.
Right. We're going back to Roman times.
Well, now, I mean, you're mixing Roman times and just straight up Nazi stuff. You know, that's a happy marriage, apparently, in some way. Of course, if you know anything about Roman history, they were fucked up. Romans were not right in the head. Too much I mean, we like to honor them for their innovations and their stuff, but man, these people were cruel and they had a lot of really bad thinking that we wouldn't agree with now. They were big. You know, a lot of people don't talk about the slaves that Rome used to have, but 3/4 of their population was slaves for the longest of time. Anyway, that's a whole big deal. Misinterpretations this year. Good morning, Misinterpretations. I got your email about the video and I watched part of the video. That's Immigrant Hunger Games. I think they were really talking about some of that.
That's crazy.
It really is.
Mike Johnson talking about how, you know, America, like after the big shitty bill passed the other day, and he was talking about how we're, you know, America is different because we put God first here. And I felt like I was watching the fucking Handmaid's Tale when he was saying that. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. They're all testing the temperature of Americans. Like they continue to push and push.
How far can we go? How much can we push it?
Right. Yeah. When will they speak up? Okay. Well, we're killing people live stream on TikTok and YouTube, and people seem to be okay with that. Okay. Well, what happens if we start putting people in cages in 100-degree weather with 90% humidity and alligators right outside ready to eat them?
It came out that there was like a 15-year-old that they had there, I think, that had not, you know, with no criminal record. It's just
shit like that happens when you don't give them due process. You know, that 14th
There are no
Amendment,
rules.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to go ahead and read our super chats. I've got a video I am happily recording and editing today. I'm looking forward to having that one done. I'm going to do that. I'm going to finish that up before nap time. Let's go here about my fan funding. Thank you very much to everybody who supports the channel. Let's see here. We have got $2 for Left-Handed Jedi. How to find God? Control F, then type God. Good luck with that. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Doesn't matter. Says, let me see. It doesn't show me here. Doesn't matter. You're even still in chat, aren't you? Doesn't matter. Said, thank you for the $20 super chat. This coffee for y'all. It's a death cult. Do y'all think MAGA will cause more people to leave the church? I don't know though. That's I'm still, that's a question I'll have to ponder. I don't know. Interesting. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it.
I'm hoping the Epstein stuff breaks them. Like, it's sad that it's taking this to like break their brain and make them like think about things. But it seems like maybe it might be the straw.
Yeah. And I love that people are still pushing it. People are, don't forget about this.
It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop.
And another thing came out just yesterday. They found a handwritten note, I believe, to Epstein from Donald Trump
about keeping our wonderful secret.
What?
Yes, how did you? Yeah. So, was it a handwritten note? I want to find out about that.
I think it was typed. It was. I don't know. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Journal did an article about it. He's trying to sue them and stuff already.
I can't wait for the fall.
I hope so. The sycophants they're trying their hardest. They're trying their hardest to Charlie Kirk. He's getting on his hands and knees and
I don't know, boy. He sure did turn around fast.
Yeah,
didn't
he did.
Yeah. All it took was a call from the president.
Yeah, exactly. I just trust whatever Donald says.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, Deviant Outcast gave us 100 sex. That's lots of sex. By the way, we have people's personal laundry lists from ancient Egypt dating 1,300 years before Jesus. Yet no one thought of even making a stick drawing of a single miracle of Jesus. I call BS. And that's when somebody's out there making the argument for mythicism. I think they're even might be Richard Carrier related, something anyway, about basically the absence of evidence. Normally, you wouldn't use the absence of evidence in an argument, except for whenever your opponent is claiming that the evidence is so obvious and overwhelming. Jesus did so many great things, or someone like that whole deal about all those people raising from the dead whenever Jesus passed away on the cross. How come nobody wrote that down? Surely the Romans would have wrote that shit down. What the hell? Because they could write, you know.
Pliny the elder would have probably written that down.
Some of the every
single person was illiterate. what? Nobody could write. Nobody could draw. Nobody could say.
That's kind of where I went with the Romans thing. I didn't want to insult the Arabs of the day, the Middle Eastern people of the day, but we know a lot of them didn't read or write. It was like a luxury or a privilege. I had one guy accosting me in my chat going, "How dare you say Job or Lot raped his daughters?" I'm like, well, okay, let's go over this for a minute. The Bible says a man took his daughters into a cave and they had sex and they went away. What are the odds that the daughters wrote that book? Did they write that book? Probably they couldn't even read or write at all. And I mean, that's just kind of that's a long story. I shouldn't get all wrapped up in it. That's one of my favorite Bible stories.
It really is subject, isn't it?
Yeah. That's my reading. Wonder why they don't really have little children reenact that one out on the lawns of a church. Okay, here comes Lot's daughter with a jug of wine.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God.
Gross.
And nothing but a loincloth.
It's a children's puppet show.
Well, really, it fit right in with modern Christianity and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Again, for $5. Thank you very much. At Kevin says, here's some coffee. Was curious if you could discuss what it's like being an atheist in such a religious part of the country. Yes, true enough. That's what it is, an adventure, I have to say. I'm from the South. I ain't from that deep of the South. You know?
It's intertwined with everything. Religion is intertwined with everything here all the time. Like secular businesses will have Bible stuff on their signs and just everywhere you go.
You know, there have been numerous times throughout history where theists of one fashion or another have all picked up as a group and gone, you know what, everybody else sucks and we want to go worship our way.
Yeah.
I would like it if we could have a society of atheists, a literal community based on science and reason with no religion. Well, I would so love a place like that. So love it. But I don't think that's going to happen. Not without a lot of struggle. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, Kevin. Jesus,
thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. You're going to be here. Yeah, it was fun. Well, I talk too much. I should have let you talk more. But I'm a bad person. You're going to be at NanoCon next week. Maybe I can get Kelly. I think Kelly had to leave. Kelly, the Atheist Queen. I think she had to leave. She's going to be there too, and I'd like to see about getting her on the show next week. Under his eye. That's right. Misinterpretation.
By his hand.
Oh God. The fruit of the looms. Oh.
May the Lord open.
The fruit of the looms. The fruit of the loons. All right, guys. I very much appreciate you. Thank you, Jesus Unfollower Kevin. Guys, go subscribe to him. Links are below. Subscribe to Ryan as always. Dragons in Genesis says we need a ball gag for Chris. Got one. Kelly, we need to get you on the show maybe next week so you can help talk us up about Comic-Con, NanoCon. So, all right, guys, y'all have a wonderful weekend. Everybody be safe, sin safely, my friends, and we will see you Monday. Take care.
Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat-scented thrills for your soul's delight. Light it up, baby, make your room right. When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set the tone. Confession booth, busy, no need to stress. Light a candle and forget your mess. Gross odors vanish like sins in the wind. With each wick, guess who's your new best friend? When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the tone. Lambs and calves may have their day, but goats the scent that leads the way. Clean your slate with a sniff so pure. Father Flanagan's got the cure. Turn your home into a saintly space. With every whiff, find redeeming grace. From your living room to the kitchen sink, light the gold candle, don't even think.